Bon appetit. Bon appetit. Bon appetit. A bon apple galette. Pinterest worthy. Magazine worthy. Instagram worthy. Oh, on the menu tonight is a good one. Okay, it is, can anyone guess what it is? It's Old Granny's chicken and biscuits. It's really not. I looked at a few recipes for chicken and biscuit on Pinterest and I'm kind of doing my own thing here. Okay, would you expect anything otherwise? You know what I mean? Welcome to my kitchen. I don't follow rules, and neither should you. So I've got my mirepoix all ready and set for me. Since it's like a soup, onion, celery, and carrot. Main 3 ingredients. Delicious. Give me some flavor. You also need some sage. Unless you don't have any, in which case I would say, meh, you don't need any sage. Maybe some thyme. Maybe some dried herbs. Maybe, some Italian seasoning. If you didn't think ahead and buy some sage, I can't keep anything alive. That's why I have to spend $1 million on prepackaged herbs. Okay, I also have a 1/4 cup of butter. That's how we make our roux. We need some heavy cream. Unless you don't have it, and then just use milk. Flour right here, just a 1/4 cup of it. We're running a little low. I just really do not feel like filling it up. Hopefully we've got a 1/4 cup in there. Chicken stock or broth. And some chicken, of course, star of the show. I actually got this. I peeled it off of a rotisserie chicken, so that should be nice and delicious. Unless you don't have that, in which case, cook yourself some chicken. Maybe just boil it, Instant Pot, whatever, and then shred it up. KitchenAid. Throw that in a KitchenAid and you can try it. It's so simple. Oh my gosh, here I am thinking I have my life together. One ingredient I'm missing is the stuff to make the biscuits, and I'm going real easy on that because I'm just going to use like pancake mix. We'll get there when we get there. Okay, I'm pulling out Old Reliable here because this is my favorite pot and I really need to order a new one. It's got some scratches. This is really, really old, but I love it so much. It works so much better than my other large pot, so that's what we're doing, okay? No excuses needed. Not in my kitchen, not in yours. Wait till that's a little hot and then throw your nice looking veggies right in there. Oh, you know what? I'm pretty sure we're supposed to add the butter. I'm gonna wait on that. Let's toss these in. Nice little sizzle. Smells good already. Oh, if you're wondering, I cut up, oh my gosh, it smells so good already. And that's no lie. I cut up 2 large carrots, even though they don't look very large, like it doesn't look like a lot. And then I cut up, I don't know, like 3 ribs of celery. They were pretty scrawny though. Let's let that cook down. While that cooks, we're gonna work on the biscuit dough. And I'm going like Cracker Barrel style. I recently went there with my husband on a date night. Ooh! It was so fancy. The first time we have had a date night since March, so that was nice. I used to make this all the time, not this specific recipe, and now I can't remember the ratios, of course. I mean, my brain works that way. I can barely remember my children's names. I think it's 2 cups of like pancake mix, and then 1 cup of milk or water if you have it. This is like a just add water type of situation. I'm gonna go 3/4 cup at first and see how that works out for me. Mix it with my fancy dough whisk. Dutch dough whisk, it's my favorite. Oh yeah, that looks nice. Oh yeah. Actually, it's too much. But you know what? That's okay because everyone just loves the biscuits in this recipe. Isn't that right? Let's just do this. Eyeball it a little bit. I think that's gonna turn out just fine. I mean, let's be real. That's the best part of like a southern chicken and biscuit kind of meal. The comfort meal. Is the weather like cooling down where you're at? It has here, definitely has here. It's like 89 degrees. Feels so nice. Windows are open. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, that looks decent. And you could do like a drop biscuit situation once we put all the liquid in there. Oh man, okay, hold on. So I made a little mistake. Nothing new here, but we're just gonna roll with it. So I'll knead the dough a little bit on the counter just because the flour's already down. So what makes Cracker Barrel's biscuits just so cool and different, and I would say delicious, but I've never had them before. I have had grandma's breakfast or whatever it's called. I don't even know. Well, you know what? I'm just gonna plop it right on here. Just hold up, okay? This is real life. We're cooking together. Okay, this is Krusty's pancake mix. Just right here. We're making a mess, but that's okay. And if you want to roll it out, that would be great, but if you don't want to, totally don't have to. I think I have a rolling pin. I'm just gonna coat the bottom. I do not want these biscuits to be sticking to anything, you know what I mean? Well, who needs to dirty a rolling pin? Really? I mean, really. Anyway, Cracker Barrel's biscuits are like flat. You could do drop biscuits. Did I mention that? If you don't feel like putting in this amount of effort, which normally I'm right there with you. Well, is that good enough? I don't know. So you throw this in the freezer so it hardens up a little bit, then you can cut them into strips. Since I just cleaned my freezer, ooh, have you seen my freezer organization? It was pretty amazing. I can show you B-roll of me just shoving it right in my freezer. Okay, back over here. These look nice and cooked, so we can add in our butter. Oh, you know what else the recipe didn't say? Is to add some garlic. I think that would be a great addition. Don't you think so? How about that much? Well, how about a little more? I cut the veggies into pretty small pieces for a couple of reasons, because kids, you know, and also so it would cook quickly. So I'm hungry. Okay, once the butter's all melted, I'm just gonna sprinkle in the flour, a 1/4 cup of flour, and then stir that in. Let the flour cook out, the raw flour taste, just for a minute. So here's where you can do what you want. I'm gonna add a couple cups of chicken broth, or chicken stock I think is what I have, because I don't want like an immensely creamy dish. But if you do, add 4 cups of cream, and then like 10 ounces is what the recipe says. So like a cup and a 1/4 maybe. Ooh, look at that, looks so good already. But I'm gonna add about, I don't know, 2 cups of cream and then 2 cups of broth and see what that looks like. Guess I have to open it first. Once you pop, the fun don't stop. A little bit more. I'm not really measuring. Just measure with your eyeballs. It'll all be fine. Doesn't look soupy enough to me. I'm gonna add the chicken. I just handful it, you know, 2 handfuls, 2 cups, tomato. And then I cut some up that's left over, so that's good. If you want more chicken, add more. If you want less, don't add any. How's it smelling? Not good enough, I'll tell you that. Oh, about to sneeze. I just took a big whiff of this pepper. I'm gonna add a lot of pepper and some salt. It's not bubbling yet, but I just have to give you a little close-up because, this looks delicious. Oh, heavens to Betsy. It's getting a little bubble. Looking real nice. Let's work on our dumplings. Okay, I'm thinking these have not been in the freezer for as long as I would like them to be, but I can't wait any longer because they have to cook and stuff. So they're not super hard, but it's whatever. I'll be able to pick them up and throw them in the soup, and that's all we can ask for. As you could see here, my knife cuts are perfectly even. It's almost as if I used a ruler. It's like pretty amazing. I mean, someone called Food Network, tell them Rachel Ray's protege is ready for her own show. We've got some bubbling soup, and then we just throw the biscuits in. Don't overcrowd the pan. I'm not going to add all of these, I don't think. We'll see how it goes. Okay, I made way too many dumplings. So that looks like a full pot. I feel like I should have added more liquid and maybe I'd be able to add more dumplings, but this is everything that I have left. Not even half of it, I don't think. So if you need to add more liquid, you can totally do that. I let it cook for about 10 minutes without a lid and then pop the lid on top, cook it for 10 more minutes, and then it should be done. While this is cooking, I'm just gonna cut the sage up. This smells absolutely delicious, so I'm glad that I have fresh herbs. All right, timer's up. Look at that. Actually, I don't know if they're done. How do we test this? It's been a while. I also made the executive decision to throw the rest of the biscuits into the oven. I think they're done. Yeah, perfect. Okay, I gave it a little mix and I tasted. Tastes delicious. So I'm gonna plate it up and sprinkle some more herbs on it. We'll see how it looks. First of all, how fancy am I right now? Oh, second of all, that steam. Can you catch it? Do you see it? Anybody? Bueller? Anyway, I am cracking myself up trying to like get a nice shot of this. I'm basically a professional, like I keep telling you guys. Oop, hold on, drippy drips. Unacceptable. Now I'm just gonna add a little bit of sage to the top. Ooh, I am fancy. Who is she? You guys, I keep telling you I'm auditioning for Food Network. Not really. I'm totally not. I mean, I could be lying to you. I lie so much. I'm not lying to you, I'm just kidding. Just trying to up my game. Just trying to get a little fancy, okay? Anyway, bon appetit. Should be delicious. I'm gonna eat it with this large spoon. Also, I added some fragrant sage to the pot over here, and I thought it looked really pretty, so I wanted to share that with you. All right, there's a lot of dumplings in here, but again, that's people's favorite part, I think. Anyway, isn't it? I don't know. This is Alex's favorite meal. I don't think I said that. I don't make it enough. I've made it like, I don't know, 5 times my whole life. But it's that time. It's dinner time again. It comes every day. What are you guys making tonight? For us, we are having chicken. I didn't even write down the name of it. I think it's like something fancy, maybe maple glazed chicken. Oh, I wonder if I do have thyme. Maybe I'll throw that on there too, make it extra fancy. We'll see how it looks. Anyway, the picture on Pinterest looks amazing. So it's super simple as well. All you need are some chicken breasts. Mine have been thawing out in here. Steak seasoning, I bought this specifically for this recipe. So I have this buttery steakhouse rub. Oh, it's a rub. Ah, well, we're gonna use it. I bought it and I already opened it. I have not sniffed it yet though. Let's see. Ooh, it smells buttery. And then you need some maple syrup, some green onions, some sweet potatoes. We're gonna make mashed potatoes, but mashed sweet potatoes, a little bit healthier. I don't know. The recipe called for like already made frozen in a bag sweet potatoes, but I would rather make them myself because I think I'm just gonna mash them. I don't know if I'm gonna add a ton of butter or cream cheese like I normally would to normal potatoes. We'll see how we go. But you need not a whole stick of butter, but just a little bit to cook the chicken in. So let's get cooking. Slight little hiccup when it came to the speediness of this meal. I had a ton of rice in this and then it was like crusted to the bottom and stuff. So I'm just gonna throw all of my sweet potatoes in and then throw in some water. It's probably like 1.25 cups. I don't know how long to cook sweet potatoes for. Woo! Bumped into you. I do have a cheat sheet. Ooh, potato. All right, 9 to 14 minutes. Let's do 14 minutes. Okay, now we're gonna season the chicken. I brought out 5 chicken breasts, but I'm sure you can cook it with any chicken that you have. The recipe called for tenderloins. You guys know thighs are my favorite. Those would stay extra juicy. And I just season one side first, and then when I get it on the grill, is that a lot? I feel it. This is very, very butter heavy. All right, we're gonna see if this is good. Will this go good with maple syrup? Butter goes good with sweet potatoes. So, all right, we're just gonna do it. We've already gone this far. Anyway, once I get it on the pan, then I season the other side. All right, Rachel Ray taught me that. She is the master. Okay, we're gonna get our pan nice and hot because we want some brown on our chicken. I'm gonna melt 2 tablespoons of butter. We're just gonna throw a salad together while we wait for the sweet potatoes to cook. Since it's not actually a 14-minute cook time, you know what I mean? Instant Pot lies to us. Oh, plus it's been way too long since I've had a salad. This cucumber smells so good. So fresh. Just eat your vegetables, guys, okay? You won't regret it. I don't know why I cut the cucumber first, but that's what I did. All right. I just do 1 head of romaine. I'll probably cut up the entire cucumber because sometimes that's what my kids go crazy about. And then I add a little bit of red onion, not too much, and I dice it pretty, you know, thin in really small pieces, mostly because my kids would rather me not add it, but like I have to eat it too, so I'm going to add it. They just get over it. You know, I need to do something for myself. Oh my word, this smells incredible. And then I just add a little bit of feta cheese over top. That's what my kids really like about it too. Really, if I just made a salad with just cucumber, feta cheese, and then the Italian dressing, I use the best, only the best, Olive Garden Italian dressing, signature style, and they eat that. But you know, romaine lettuce is so good for us. Can't forget about our favorite tongs that we got from Target. You know, you gotta do something to make you feel a little fancy. Especially when you eat in almost every day of your life. Actually, the kids had karate today and Alex, you know, called when he was on his way home and he said, should I pick up pizza? I was like, no, I have dinner plans. You're crazy. But my kids, I swear, they would rather eat pizza every night of the week than anything I make them. Well, if you can believe it, the hardest part about this dinner is waiting for the Instant Pot to come to pressure. I wouldn't say the hardest part, the most time-consuming part. So I'm just gonna cut up some green onion while I'm waiting. And I'd rather use my idle time. Did you hear that beep? That means 14 minutes, start the countdown. The kids just came in and said it smelled like Thanksgiving. I think it's pretty much because of the seasoning. If that tells you anything. I guess I can only do 3 at a time. These are pretty massive. Give it a little shake on this side. I'm just gonna flip these over. Oh, that looks just like the picture. Fantastic. Love it, love it, love it. Oh, that one looks even better. Let's check this guy out. Oh, yep. Chicken is for dinner. One critique I would make, more butter. Well, the sweet potatoes are done, and I realized I didn't peel them. Oh, and now I'm thinking, well, are they done? No, my luck with this Instant Pot. They're not done. Oh, they're not done. Oh, wait, before I turn it back on again, someone told me instead of putting the lid down and getting moisture everywhere, you can shove the lid right into the handle like that. A little hack they don't teach you in the manual. Well, maybe they do, but I just didn't read the manual, so there's that. Okay, while we're waiting for the sweet potatoes to cook again, we're gonna make the sauce. You need a 1/4 cup of maple syrup. Ooh! That scared me. I thought it was a bug or something. That is the vanilla bean, I hope. All right, we got it back in. The comments of the recipe said to add a little bit more, so that's what I'm doing. And you're just supposed to let this bubble and cook for, I don't know, 4 minutes or so. I guess let it thicken up. I almost forgot. The green onions, I cut a few up, and you just add that to the mix as well. Round 2. Moment of truth, and you know what's funny is I didn't put it on oh my. It's still not done. Oh, I'm so angry. I'm speechless. Like, I don't even know what to say. Instant Pot failed me again. I don't have time. It's not like super hard, but it's hard enough where I'm like, ugh, really? Okay, I'm just gonna take the skins off and then mash them. I'm not gonna add anything. I might add some salt and pepper. I just take a couple paper towels so I don't burn my fingers off, and I peel the skin just like this, and it comes right off. It's super simple. So I'm gonna do that with all of them. So I only peeled 4 out of 5 of them, and I mean, I might as well add the rest of the butter. And then a little salt and pepper for flavor, of course. Oh my gosh, they're too hard for me to smush. Oh, I'm so angry. All right, there we go. Not so bad. I just need a little muscle. Well, that's a little dry. It's gonna add a touch of cream. And all of a sudden, this meal went from healthy to delicious. This is the most physical activity I've had in about 4 months. Looking good. Now, we're gonna plate it like a professional chef, because that's what Julia Child taught us. Here is what the sauce looks like. Okay. Listen, if I wasn't making a video, I would probably just throw it on their actual plates, but you know, I'm trying to get Food Network to call me back, so. You know, we should probably taste the sweet potato. A little chunky. It's a little chunky, but it'll do, it has to. Now I'm just gonna plate the chicken right on top of it. And I'm pretty notorious for overcooking my chicken. Did I say overcooking? I meant undercooking. All right, we're just gonna put 3 on there because that looks good. But I feel like 4 is more eye-pleasing. So we're gonna shove 1 right in the middle. That's better. Ooh, this smells good. All right, does that look good? This look good? Does this look good? Does this look good? Oh my gosh. I mean, tell me this doesn't look good and I'd be like, you lying. You lying. Holy fajoli. I mean, are you kidding me right now? Pinterest worthy, magazine worthy, Instagram worthy. Pull this out at your next dinner party. Pull it out at Thanksgiving. It kind of does feel like a Thanksgiving meal with the sweet potatoes. Well, not so much the chicken. Now we just have to see if it tastes fantastic, and I'll give you the final verdict. Dinner is all cleaned up, and this is what is left over. I have to tell you something. This was amazing. I asked Alex what he thought, and he said it tasted fancy, like it tasted upscale. It was so good. It's so surprising just how simple it was, especially if you already have like the frozen sweet potatoes. This could be like a 15-minute meal for sure. So I would definitely try this one out. Simple ingredients, easy and fast. It's like the trifecta right there. Bon appetit. Tonight for dinner, we're trying something special. Again, another super simple meal. Looks unassuming. It is, I didn't even write the name down. Again, when will I learn? Okay, By the way, isn't my stationery so cute? Be productive. Love that. Okay, so it's like Italian sausage and spinach. It's like they didn't even name this thing. It's pumpkin pasta. I forgot the real name of it. It's like pumpkin sauce with spinach and sausage and it's a great name for it. Plus some sage in there makes it extra fancy. So we're gonna whip this thing up. Hopefully, I'm assuming it's like a 20-minute meal. Let's do it. I'm pretty skeptical when it comes to things that are pumpkin flavored, specifically pumpkin spice. I feel like this is okay because pumpkin itself isn't full of flavor. It's very mild, but I thought this would be like a fun fall themed dinner option. Oh man, is this my first time peeling an onion? What's happening? Wow, all right. Anyway, I didn't read a whole lot of reviews on this recipe because mostly there weren't any, but I will let you know my true thoughts and feelings. And if nothing else, it's like a healthier alternative if you're really craving pasta. It makes it a little healthy, right? Oh my gosh, good thing my knives are dull. I could have just chopped my thumb off, not paying attention, trying to look at a child. Okay, a little bit of oil in the pan. Well, you know what? We don't need that. The recipe says to, but who cares? Because the sausage is gonna render the fat. We're gonna ground our sausage. You guys know I deviate from almost every recipe I read. I just look at it as a guideline. And I'm gonna cook my onions right in with the sausage. Because who has time to cook the sausage, take it out, and then cook the onion? And then we're gonna combine it all at the end anyway. Let me know if you guys like pumpkin spice everything and pumpkin everything. I feel like I'm in the minority, but also I feel that way. I feel like I feel that way. A lot of feels. Because the people who do like pumpkin spice are just so loud about it, you know? I've said it once, I'll say it 1,000 times. This is my favorite pot. I love it so much. I need to just buy these and replace them with the exact same pot. I got them from Amazon. You'd think I would. Tried to save a few bucks on another set, but it didn't work out. Okay, anyway, I got these noodles. Oh, and I remembered what the name of the dish was. Pumpkin rigatoni. I don't have rigatoni noodles. That's a lie. I do. I just thought these would be more fun. They're like kappa something, like corkscrew. And I just thought, wow, those look like high class, like high society, you know? Anyway, I love this pot so much because the water came to a boil within 2 minutes. Back to the old chopping block. I'm just gonna cut up, I don't know, 2 really large handfuls of spinach. This is baby spinach, so technically I don't have to cut it, but I always feel like when I cook spinach, it's like hanging out of my mouth when I eat it. Just don't want to be that person, you know? So just a rough chop, nothing fancy. Okay, this is coming together really, really quickly. I'm just gonna add a little bit of garlic. It's like a lot, yet somehow not enough. Gonna mix that in, and then I'm going to mix in the spinach. Bonus, if you cut it really, really fine, your kids won't be able to pick it out of the pasta. How about we season this? Sounds about good. A little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper. Give that a little mix. Just get it warm, and it'll wilt really quickly. Gonna check on our pasta water. So before we drain the pasta, we're going to reserve 1.5 cups of liquid, it says. So this is for the sauce. 1.5 cups seems a little extreme. How am I gonna get 1.5 cups? Oh, that's 2 cups. All right, you know, that's good enough. And then we're gonna drain the pasta. I should have put this colander at the bottom of my sink. I'm testing fate, it's gonna fall. This is a stupid idea. There it is. Ideally, if you're making this dish, you just add the pasta, add it all together. However, I have children who may not enjoy all of this. So I am going to make half with plain noodles and half with the pasta or pumpkin sauce. So I'm just gonna throw half of the mixture in here with the plain noodles. And to be honest with you, I mean, this looks pretty good as is. A little bit of oil, Italian seasoning, you're good to go, right? All right, I transferred it to a smaller bowl. But we're doing big things over here. So we're gonna put this in here, great, with the pasta, great. Half of the can of the pumpkin over here with about 3/4 cup of the reserved pasta water. This is just weird. Missing key ingredient here. The recipe calls for red pepper flakes. I don't keep those around. But I do have some sage and it makes me feel a little fancy. So I'm gonna throw some of that in. Okay, here's my tip. If you wanna elevate any dish, fresh herbs, that's all it takes. This stuff is so fragrant. Oh my gosh, if that was a candle right now, I would burn it. All right, here we go. You know what? I have a feeling this is gonna be quite delightful. Also, kind of smells like baby food, so I don't know. Okay, I hope it's good. Also, did I follow the directions? This is it, my friends. And then you just pour the sauce right over. Oh yeah, doesn't that look great? Give this a nice mix. I don't know why it's making me laugh. Ugh, the picture on Pinterest always looks so much better, am I right? All right, here we go. Clean up the edges a little bit. And there you have it. Pumpkin capicola. I don't know what this kind of pasta is called. Pumpkin non-rigatoni, pumpkin pasta, spinach, and sausage. But I'm not gonna lie, like, this looks pretty dang good too, you know? If you had to pick, if you were at my house for dinner right now, which one would you go for? A or B, or a little bit of both. That's what I'm thinking, a little bit of both, you know? You know what, I'll give you a taste test right now. Bon appetit. Okay, it doesn't taste like pumpkin at all. Yeah, it's fantastic. Oh, yeah, I could have made the whole batch. No one would know that this was a vegetable-based sauce. It's fantastic. It's wonderful. Yes. I gotta tell you guys, I don't know if it's because my expectations were at like really low for this, but this is really good. I would make this again. Super easy, simple family dinner, weekday night, weeknight dinner idea. Yeah, I mean, just to make things even, I guess I'll try this one too. No, I mean, it tastes like noodles. Nothing exciting about this at all. This is where it's at. 110%. I'll just take this bowl and eat it. I know some of you are like, oh my God, I'm not coming over to your house. You double dipped your fork. Well, who invited you? I had to pop back on again because I ate like 5 more spoonfuls of it. So good. I have to reiterate, you guys, make it. You won't regret it. Maybe you will, but I don't think you will. It's so good. It was a smash hit. It was a good time smash. It was a monster mash. I don't know why I thought of that song. It was a monster hit. So good, so good. Who's hungry? It's almost dinner time. What's on the menu tonight, Kim? Well, let me tell you. Every night I tell my kids, or I ask them what's for dinner, or dinner gets brought up, and one of them, without fail, every night is like, oh, dinner again. Like, it's a surprise. It's shocking, really. So tonight we've got potato soup. I've never had potato soup before. And I'm quite weary about trying, you know, chunky soups, lentil soup, stuff like that. It just weirds me out. Split pea soup was my mom's favorite growing up, and I just remember it being the worst thing I've ever heard of. As an adult, it's probably not that bad, but those memories stick, okay? Childhood trauma. For some reason, I just don't think that potato soup is going to be good. However, I've never had a soup that I didn't like. So let's get into it. What do we need? We need some bacon, green onion. Aren't these looking a little sad? We're gonna use them up because we don't want them to go to waste. Yes, I know, I hear you. Put them in a cup of water. I do all that. It's just, you know, sometimes things happen. You need some cheddar cheese, some chicken broth or stock, 3 pounds of potatoes. I'm not sure if this is 3 pounds, but you know what? This is what I have. And you know what I say, you work with what you have, so that's what we're working with. We also have some sour cream and half and half, or cream or milk, whatever you have. This is what we have. And you know what, I'm gonna weigh these just for funsies. I'm gonna go on my bathroom scale. I'll be right back. BRB. Exactly 2.5 pounds. And when I say exactly, I don't really mean exactly 2.5 pounds. I mean, my scale isn't very accurate, but it's probably around 2.5 pounds, which is, let's say it together, good enough for me. I'm just gonna cut up some bacon. Okay, here's my thing about bacon. Let's fix the sliding situation so everyone's happy in here. Everything tastes better with bacon. The recipe calls for 6 slices, so we're gonna do more than that. You know what my favorite thing in the world is? Cutting frozen bacon. Not really, that's a joke. Oh, did I also mention this is an Instant Pot recipe? It's not really an Instant Pot recipe, but like I'm making it one because, you know, I just want to use it. And I feel like this is a great recipe to use it in because I don't feel like babysitting my potatoes. So I have the Instant Pot on saute while I work on my potatoes over here. And I've read conflicting things about this because you guys know I don't really look at recipes. I look at them more as like an ingredient list. So some recipes called for peeled, diced potatoes and, but always a waxy kind, like Yukon Gold or whatever the heck this is. Probably not the right kind. Russet is what I have. Sweet potatoes would probably even work in this. Anyway, what was I saying? Something about how some people like to peel them and some don't. So I'm gonna peel these and then I'm gonna leave the skin on these. So I feel like that's a good compromise right there. I also feel like potato soup is such a fall staple, and I can't believe I've lived my 30 some odd years of life without ever tasting it. You know what, I maybe feel like I've had potato soup from like Panera, but everything tastes good from Panera, you know? I'll tell you something, if the soup tastes as good as that bacon smells, we're on the right track here. You know what my least favorite part about cooking is? Waiting. It smells really good and my taste buds are starting to go. Anyway, don't forget to hydrate, all right? Purifies the soul. Let's hope it purifies my face because I'm breaking out for some reason. Stress, I'm just gonna blame stress. All right, you know what, that looks good. I just don't feel like waiting anymore. I am going to pull the bacon out and reserve it. We have all that flavor in the fat that's down there. And we want the bacon to stay crispy. Really, it's just a topping. And you don't actually have to have it if you don't have bacon. So here's where the benefit of cooking this on the stove top is. I now have to cook the onion and wait for that to cook. So, you know, just some more waiting over here. Wow, look at those knife cuts. I mean, Julia Child's protege. What do you have to say about that? Food Network, here I come. I'm just gonna add a little bit of salt and pepper to this. Just seems right. I mean, and when you think about it, I'm going to pressure cook this, so I really need to saute the onions. Probably not, but I also feel like sauteing them adds some flavor. So I'm just gonna cut it off right there and add all of my potatoes, all 2.5 pounds. I feel like this is a solid 3 pounds now that they're cut. If you're doing this on the stovetop, you stir this, you cook the potatoes until they're soft, and who has time for that, really? Not me. Well, I mean, I'm sure I do, but I've got better things to do. 4 cups of chicken broth or stock right in there, and we're gonna pressure cook this for, let's just do it for like 10 minutes, okay? Seems like the right thing to do. Oh my gosh. I am not kidding when I tell you that took 17 years to vent. I am 92 years old. The year is 3084, and I bet you the potatoes still aren't done. I got a spoon. I need a fork. All right, here we go. Fork tender. Hey, we did one thing right. So to this, I have 2 cups of half and half. You can use 1 cup milk, 1 cup cream, 1 cup milk, 1 cup half and half, whatever you have, whatever you want. And I also have 3 tablespoons of butter mixed in there. That's just to thicken it up a little bit, and I didn't add it before I pressure cooked it because I just didn't know how that would react. So there's my lumpy flour right in there. Great, 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 great. Cool, 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 cool. So I'm just gonna saute this and bring it to a little boil, and I'll see you in a minute. While we wait for this thing to come to a boil, the recipe says to use your immersion blender. Are you surprised I don't have one of those? I actually, you know what, maybe I still have it around. I used to have one. I think, oh, I see it. Slow, 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 tripping, tripping. Oh, it's stuck. All right, you see here, only professional chefs have these around. Okay, my battery's dying. Moment of truth. Does it still work? Oh! Oh, you see the blade? It's not moving very fast. I would say that does not work. Maybe I have to tighten it or something. Oh man, Julia, child. Is this better than nothing? If this doesn't work, I'm gonna use my potato masher and just try. You could use your blender, but again, that's like one more thing I need to wash, and I'm just not about that life. Also, I don't care if it's that smooth. Yeah, that's not doing anything. Cool, 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 cool. Ooh, okay, well my battery's dying, but it's getting pretty thick, and I'm going to add in, well, 1 cup of cheese, but I did way more than that because, well, have we met? And then you let this melt and mush it all together up in here. I think that's it, ladies and gentlemen. Another amazing weekday night. School after school easy. Incredible, delicious, super simple meal. Also for your family. Oh my gosh, look at this. Okay, well, first of all, it looks fantastic. Second of all, I forgot to add the sour cream. I don't really like sour cream anyway. I feel like Alex can add that to his if he really wants it. But if that doesn't impress you, yeah, I mean, there's just no hope. That's about as good as it gets. And it's coming from me. I see you, walk on by. And a 1 and a 2 and a screenshot that grab. Screenshot that grab. Screenshot that grab. Scooby-Dooby-Doo-Bop, a Christopher Reeve. Scooby-Doo-Boo, Bone in the Breeze. Yeah. On the menu tonight, we have something super simple. It's one of my favorite meals, mostly because it's just veggies on top of veggies, and you can interchange them and use whatever you want. Is there a bug in that bag? Did you see it? There's definitely a bug in there. Sick. That's just nature for you. Okay, so we've got some sweet potatoes, onion, apple for some sweetness, even though sweet potatoes are pretty sweet. These look pretty sad, but you know, we're using them, they're not even that old, I don't know. And then pecans, Brussels sprouts, use whatever you like, whatever potatoes you have. Well, if you don't like onion, leave it out. Maybe use red onion. If you don't have an apple, leave it out. I made this past weekend. Oh wait, I'm missing something. Bacon. Oh, apple! Still good. All right, bacon there. I was trying to thaw it a little bit in my sink so it wouldn't be so hard for me to cut. So I'm just going to chop all of this up, throw it on a sheet pan. It's a quick, easy weeknight meal. It's so good, guys, and I love sheet pan meals because it's just like a dump and go. It's like next level crock pot, except everything always tastes way better coming from the oven. You know what I mean? It's like nice and crisp. I cut my onions a little thicker so that they don't like overcook and burn in the oven while all the other vegetables are cooking alongside of them. You can peel your sweet potato if you want to, but you like totally don't have to. I mean, I probably should since mine looks so sad. The skin is where so many of the nutrients are, so I'm keeping it just like so. I will say I made this sheet pan meal for our fall family get together this past week. I guess it's been a week now. And I shared it on Instagram, and so many of you asked for the recipe because 1, it just looks healthy and delicious, which it is, and 2, everyone raved about it. I mean, what's not to love? And it's super simple, and that's kind of my jam. My cutting board is getting a little full, so I'm just gonna dump it right on my sheet pan. Last time I made this, I left out the apple because I didn't have it, and I think the original recipe I was reading, and you know what? I don't even know what the name of it was. Obviously, I will try to link all the recipes that gave me inspiration down in the description box below. What was I saying? Oh, I didn't add the apple last time because I didn't have it. And like, you work with what you have. And it turned out fantastic. I also think the original recipe called for some kind of cinnamon or something. And I'm not about that life, so I left that out too. Just like with all my other sheet pan meals, where you're gonna use the trifecta, just a little bit of olive oil and then salt and pepper. No Italian seasoning though. I mean, you could if you wanted to. Normally I would double up on the Brussels sprouts, but that's all I have. I think I'm gonna double check my outside fridge again. Oh no! And instead of bacon, if you don't want bacon, I don't know if I mentioned this, but I think the original recipe called for chicken, and that would be great if you're, you know, serving this as a more hearty dinner meal. One thing I also love about this kind of sheet pan meal is when I roast a bunch of veggies at once, I can separate them and make them my lunches throughout the week. Love doing that, having prepared veggies ready for me. Plus it's like flavored with bacon, so who wouldn't love it? And the pecans give it that like mapley fall flavor and adds a nice crunch to it. It's like, what's not to love about this meal, really? Okay, I don't see enough greens, so I'm gonna go double check to see if I have more sprouts. Okay, I added some more veggies. I hope you can spot the difference. It's kind of balancing out my bacon to veggie ratio here. I'll say it a million times. There is just something so wonderful about cut up veggies. God, doesn't that just look so good? It's not even cooked yet. Oh, one more thing I wanted to add. So at the very end, last time I added some rosemary because I'm so fancy and I bought it for a recipe. I'm not sure which one. I don't think I've made it yet in my rotation, but I am going through the rosemary, but I added at the very end because I feel like it might get burned in the oven because you're gonna cook these at a high temperature. I'm doing 411 degrees. Seems odd, but that's what we're doing. My oven is like halfway broken. Probably for around 25-30 minutes until everything looks nice and crisp. Whoa, it's heavy. I'm about to cut the thyme, and I thought I would share with you the way you get thyme off of the stem. Not that I'm an expert or anything, but Rachel Ray taught me. You, opposite the way it grows, you just push it right off, nice and clean. I guess I'll do a whole stem, and this smells so delicious. It smells fancy. It smells like a candle in the best way. There's just something nice about fresh herbs. There really is. I wish I could keep them alive. If anyone has tricks on how to keep fresh herbs alive, I'm all ears. Here it is, fresh out of the oven, and I'm just gonna sprinkle the herbs right on top of it. And it's still very warm, so I'm thinking it'll like heat things up and get it a little more fragrant. To be real, that time, it smells like Christmas to me. That's exactly what it smells like. Oh, and I'm so ready for it. It feels like fall outside, which is just so fitting for this week of meals. But I feel like everyone's talking about Christmas. Can we slow down? Are you there yet? Are you at Christmas level? Because I'm not. I'm like barely at Halloween, okay? Oh my gosh, so good. All right, there it is. Bon appetit. Rounding off the week with a delicious fall dessert. A few things I want to say about this. Obviously, always something to say. So, first of all, we're making a galette. Not that you could read that, but I'm pretty sure that's how it's pronounced. I don't know, I'm not fancy enough. I've always wanted to make one of these just because they look so impressive. Guys, my handwriting. I feel like I was a doctor in my past life. Could you imagine if I was one now? Oh, it'd be a mess. Okay. What was I gonna say? Pumpkin. I had a pumpkin dessert planned. Did you know about this pumpkin shortage? I guess it's a real thing. I can't find canned pumpkin. So if you find it, you know, stock up, okay? Well, maybe that's the problem. How about you don't stock up because other people would like some? I digress. Couldn't find pumpkin, so I found this galette. Galette. Probably not right. That says filling. So apparently it's pretty easy. Well, we'll see about that, won't we? You need to make a crust, which I feel like I've done before in my last Thanksgiving meal prep with me, which was amazing. And I feel like, yeah, I've got the skills now. I can handle it. And then for the filling, all you really need is like some apples and really nothing. Oh, butter. We need a bunch of butter, but we have to keep it cold, so I left it in the fridge. So you need a 1 1/4 cup of flour. Perfect. 1 tablespoon of sugar. And I feel like in a normal pie crust recipe, I don't measure, who cares? That's good enough. I feel like you don't add that in a normal pie crust recipe. A little bit of salt to enhance the flavor. Perfect. Next in goes a 1/2 cup of softened butter, and you cut it into cubes. Well, I cut mine into rectangles because, well, have we met? Anyway, that's good enough. And I'm gonna pulse it in my pulser here. If you don't have one of these, you can use a pastry blender, which I recently broke mine, which is not so recent after all. But I need to buy a new one because it makes me feel like a professional chef when I have one of those. If you don't have either of those things, no worries. I'm sure you have hands, or maybe, hopefully you do. Maybe you know someone with some hands. And then just push it together with the flour and butter. Try to avoid using your palms because you want to keep this as cold as possible. And you hold a lot of heat in your palm. All right, we're just going to pulse it. Oh Oh my gosh, yes, it's amazing. It's amazing. I love it so much. There's something so magical about pie crust. We're not done yet, hold up. Okay, next you need ice water. Sad day, I don't have ice. It's actually been a year. It's a whole thing with our fridge. Guys, the fridge dilemma, it just never ended if you've been around that long. So I'm just cold water here, as cold as I can get it. A couple tablespoons of cold water. We just wanna bring this together, so 3 or 4. Did I say a couple? I meant a few. And I'm not getting a full tablespoon, so let's see how that works out. See how it's looking a little doughy here? It's exactly what we want. I feel like last time my dough was so dry, so I may be going overboard this time, but I am gonna add just a little bit of water here, okay? This is what we're looking for. We want it to start to form a ball in the food processor, and that way we can just knead it. Hello. We're just gonna sprinkle our work surface, just a smidge. Actually, you don't have to do any of this. All you have to do is form it into a ball. Oh, this is amazing. This is so perfect. Form it into a disc, I should say. That is the proper term. So we're just gonna form it into a disc right here. Oh my God, this is the best thing I've ever made in my life. It's including the 4 kids I have created in my body. Okay, wrap this in saran wrap. Get the excess flour off of it. We don't want that. And chill it for 30 minutes. Guys, I have a feeling this is just going to be exactly what the recipe said. A simple, easy fall dessert. We can hope, right? All right, you're about to witness my pairing skills. While it's chilling, I'm just going to peel the apples and cut them, but to make sure that they don't turn brown, I'm going to throw them into just a bowl of water, and that should be good. I feel like that's a thing. You don't have to add lemon juice to it unless you're going to take it out of the water, which I don't plan on doing. Okay, now I'm gonna take the apples and cut them into little slices. Well, apparently I didn't do a great job of getting all the skin off. You know what, who cares? Well, I didn't do a great job of really anything. The seeds are still in there. It's no big deal. You can work with it. Okay, and now really thin slices of apple. Ooh, yes. Never have I ever had a, I don't know, galette look this fantastic. I've never ever made a galette. Oh great, now I'm jinxing myself. I'm trying to keep it all fancy looking, but we all know it's not going to end up looking that great. Why am I using the teeny tiny little knife? There we go, that's better. Maybe we should wait until our pie crust is ready, because once the pie crust is ready, you can like fan these over the pie crust. All right, yeah, let's wait for that. Let me just, all right, I'm just gonna leave them in the water. Yes, I used a hair tie to keep it together. Come at me. It's clean. Like I just showered, it's clean. There's no hair on it, it's totally fine. Use a rubber band if you want, or don't cut your apples like I did, okay? It's been well over an hour, which may not work in my favor. We've got our dough. I'm just going to roll it out. Oh, see, is it too dry again? Man. All right, we're gonna try to roll it out here. Do the best we can. It's supposed to look rustic, so the fact that it's not supposed to look perfect will also work in our favor. Okay, so that's just it. I'm not great at rolling out pie crust, and that's okay. I added some water. I'm adding a little bit of flour. We're just making things work over here is all we're doing. We're just making things work. Okay, you know what I'm gonna say? This looks pretty darn fantastic if you ask me. Okay, I'm just gonna take our cut apples, which I dried off a little bit because we don't want the dough to get like overly wet. And I'm just like fanning them out. Oh, by the way, they still turned brown, which is like my life. All right, when I flip this over, oh yeah, that's gonna be great. This is also why you're supposed to use like a Granny Smith apple. I think that's what works best with this because it's a not overly juicy apple. Oh my gosh, Food Network, here I come, you know? Looks way better than that one. Okay, this is only 2 apples right here, if you're wondering. I mean, the apples I got were huge. All right, I don't know how the middle is supposed to look. Surely it's normally looks better than that, but those are my skills. Give you a little top view right there. I'm pretty proud of that, I'm not gonna lie. Okay, now you flip, oh, I forgot to preheat my dang oven. 375 for this. And then you just flip up the sides. I cannot believe I forgot to preheat my oven. It'll be fine, we're fine. I'm gonna cook it right on this mat, actually. I'm not gonna transfer this. Oh wait, was I supposed to do that yet? Dang it. Here is the kicker. Woo, good thing I checked. I thought it was 3 tablespoons of cinnamon, 2 teaspoons of sugar. It's the opposite. 2 teaspoons of cinnamon and then 3 tablespoons of sugar. Okay, I unfolded it. You just sprinkle all of this cinnamon and sugar. Okay, I'm gonna fold it up and put some on the crust as well. But before I put on the crust, I do have an egg wash here, which is just a beaten egg, which I'm beating with my pastry brush, and then a little bit of water. I'm just gonna brush that right. I don't think I brushed the entire thing. I think I just brushed the crust. Clearly I didn't write the whole recipe down. And then I'm just gonna sprinkle some more on the crust. Oh, and then, hold on, we're not done. 4 tablespoons of cubed butter goes right on top of it. And I feel like that's what's really gonna make it that much more delicious. Okay, I'm sorry. I had no idea I was an actual professional. So let's pop this guy in the oven, 375 for about 30 to 40 minutes. I nearly burnt my house down, but worth it, I would say. Okay, I just tried to transfer this to, you know, a nicer looking plate. I cannot get it off of this. Well, I will try again. But I just wanted to get a nice shot, just in case it all goes to crap and it falls completely apart on my snowman plate. Okay, I have to turn my vent fan back on now. I tried to get it on a white plate for contrast, but it's just not gonna happen. It's halfway falling apart. I'm not showing you the imperfections, but I feel like this is gonna taste delicious. It definitely looks delicious. I'm impressed. Are you impressed? It's a little burned. There we go. Now I'm a food photographer. All right, here you go. A Boone Apple Galette.
Oh wow, it looks great. Hot.
Hot. It is delicious. It tastes exactly like an apple pie. Is it less calories than an apple pie? I don't know. I feel like apple pie has a lot of like sugar and like that creamy filling. This hits the right spots on your taste buds. It tastes delicious. I would highly recommend making it. It is pretty simple. If I can do it, you can do it. That is it. Thank you guys so much for watching and hanging out. I hope I gave you some good dinner inspiration. In my opinion, it was one of my favorite week of dinner recipes. Every single recipe was a hit. Everything was delicious. And again, it was all really simple and easy. So I hope you try these. If you do, tag me on Instagram at thewadsquad1, the number 1, because that's what we are. Okay, see you later. Bye. If you want to subscribe, put a little happy in your day.